Right, what's going on, traders? This is Alex again from Boss Crypto. If you guys want access to our exclusive trading academy, we've opened up a limited amount of seats. It's completely free for 30 days. Just head over to bosscrypto.co or click the link in the description. Get access to our free trial today. If you guys enjoy the video. So per usual, I'm going to be bringing you guys a top-down analysis on Bitcoin. And then we can talk about alts for a little bit and what alt trades we've been taking and all that good stuff. All right, so I'll try to keep it a little brief today if I can. So without further ado, let's get right into things. So looking at the 1 month, always start with the 1 month. We can see cyclically, we're in a down cycle, just barely, but we continue to make higher highs and higher lows with all of our bullish monthly candles. So we're still very much in a bull market. And we've seen a very similar feat actually happen before where you get a huge run up, you get a dirty pullback, and it's hard to tell on the monthly chart, but often a quite nasty pullback, 40%. Your monthly cycle crosses down. It takes some time for price to hold the 8, and then over time it eventually crosses up, swing high gets taken out, and that's that. So we will probably, at least in my opinion, here's the 8 and that trajectory. We're probably going to grind up against that. And then as we take out 14,000, that'll probably be what turns us back up. And a close above 14,000 will send us to 16 to 17,000 and probably straight to new highs. So yeah, resistance wise, we have, you could probably draw some kind of downtrend line in there. But the key things I care about are the lower highs of each monthly candle. So the current swing lower high is right around 11,000. So when we get a monthly close on that, we will have bullish, not monthly close, but when we get an engulfing close above that on the monthly, we will have a bullish reversal candle on every single time frame. And so that's really all we need to confirm that the long-term uptrend is back on. And, like we see here with this hold of the 8, the long-term uptrend never really broke, but we definitely had an intermediate-term downtrend in here. And again, very common to have intermediate-term downtrends inside of a long-term uptrend. And, Boss Crypto's call has been buy the dip. And what did we do? We bought the dip. And now we're loading up more. We're making alt trades. I'm really sorry if you guys hear all the construction noise going on outside my apartment. I mean, there's people honking their horns, chainsaws going. People just can't keep damn quiet, man. But anyways, yeah, it looks really good on the monthly. Like I said, still no engulfing, but the hold of the 8, this great increase in volume. I'm sorry, do you guys hear the honking? It's actually it's actually like triggering me a little bit. Okay, sorry. Let's go ahead and dive into the weekly. 2 other things I want to point out. Our call was buying at the monthly 8 has historically been a very good bet on BTC. You buy near the 8, it's a good bet. Another great bet, when Bitcoin is trending above that 8 and price dips more than 30%, you buy. We had a 46% dip, and here we are absolutely chilling. Where else did we hold? Right in front of the key monthly pivot, which we've been talking about for a long time. So none of this recent price action should be really that surprising, but it definitely is exciting. I love having volatility back. So let's further analyze this a little bit. All right, we held, again, right in front of the key pivot on the daily and the weekly and the monthly. So this was the bottom of the last bullish monthly candle until this one. It was also the last higher low on the weekly that led to the most recent higher high. It was also a chance at a huge potential cyclical reversal with this massive bullish or bearish engulfing candle, along with the slow stochastic cycle cross. But what happened right off that level? We get a BCI, a huge bullish engulfing, completely invalidating that bearish engulfing, and sent it on its way. So this whole region is a massive zone of support, and we've just come down, shook out a crazy amount of people, and here we are back above that region like nothing ever happened. And guarantee you, I'm not sure it's going to happen, but if we go back to mid 8,000s, it's going to shake out crazy amount of people again. I don't think it's going to happen since if we go look at the futures chart today, we already got the gap fill, and that might be enough to stop us from having to test those lower levels. But there's, no way to really know. I'm going to be going long in front of this 9,000 region with my stops below there. And then if we break, that's fine. I'll wait for the next setup, try and reload somewhere back near this old resistance, 8,800, 87, 86, 85, 84, somewhere in there. Wait for a good setup and then long again. That's if we don't hold here, but I think we got a good chance to just hold here. But I don't want to go too quickly here. Go back to the weekly. And you can see we held the bands perfectly on the weekly with a stop run, and that lines up with holding the monthly 8. Again, not exactly location-wise, but they line up. We got the signal we've been waiting on for the longest time since back in June, really. Our slow stochastic cycle finally crossed up with this massive engulfing close back above the 8. And also, this was our call back here. I wasn't calling, we're definitely going to dump and then immediately pump up, $3,000. But I was saying, what's going to cross this up is a big bullish engulfing close back above the 8. And that's exactly what we got and more. I'm not going to try and pretend like I saw this coming, but that was freaking amazing. And it's exactly what we needed. This is that kind of event Bitcoin needs to have to get back along its uptrend. And so now we're back above a really key support level. We've already retested that level, and we've got a long cycle ahead of us. Again, it doesn't necessarily have to go all the way up, but that's the potential for this runway leading into the end of the year, right? And what I'm expecting, like I was talking about on the monthly, is kind of just a slow grind up to this high into the end of the year before finally breaking out. And it might be, not going to be exactly like that, but we've got the 8 as support on the weekly. We got the 8 as support on the monthly. And now we're trending above the 8 on the daily again since the 24th of October, or really the 25th. We do have our slow stochastic cycle still falling on the daily. And it makes sense because we're kind of just in a little bit of a trading range right now. But once we pop above the key level, which I'll show you guys this on the weekly, the close and the open of these two candles are at 95.60. And we can see it's very close to the lowest close from this consolidation region in July and August. We can see we've tested it here as resistance again, and it's clearly a key level of resistance on the weekly. Then we go to the daily, and we can see, it looks like it's also the highest daily close we have of this trading range here. We've tested it here. We ran some stops here, and now we're just fighting between this resistance and our support at the 8. And if we can't hold that support, we've got the horizontal support made at 9,000. You got the bands in here. You got this level. There's a bunch of potential levels it could stop at. But this is the range we're in now. If we close above 95.50, 9,600, it's probably going to send us to the next key pivot on the daily, which is looking like 11,000, right in this region. The last lower high that was made before we dumped. And you could argue the candle that did the dump was really important, and we didn't break above that yet. But that's also right near that 9,500, 9,600 region. So you get something like this, that should be enough to cross the stochastic back up, and that'll probably send it to 11. We already have a small bullish engulfing with this candle, but it is still contrarian to the cycle. So long-term bullish, intermediate-term bullish, short-term bullish, but we are in just a little bit of a trading range. But as long as we're in an uptrend, I'm going to be more likely bullish in a trading range than bearish. So yeah, we keep making higher lows in here. We're going to send this to the fucking moon, right? Same thing for futures, fill the gap, and now we're just chilling above the bands. So it looks super bullish. Yeah, if you guys have any more questions on Bitcoin, you can find me in the Boss Crypto chat pretty much 24 hours a day. So hop on in there, hit me up if you got a question. That's pretty much all for Bitcoin. Check out this cycle too, how crazy this is. Let me go to Bitstamp again. This is just classic cycles right here. You see the red line pi, cycle to pi, cycle away from it, cycle back to it, cycle away from it, cycle to it, cycle away from it, cycle back to it, cycle away from it, cycle to it, away from it, to it, away from it, to it, away from it, away from it, back to it, away from it, to it, away from it, to it, away from it, to it. Bada boom. Look how we just bounce around over the last 10 years with pi. And check how sometimes in the crazy parts of the bull market, you touch pi and you do not come back. And so this might be that long-term dip. The last time we actually see Bitcoin below 10,000. This could be it this year leading into 2020. Not to go like super hype or anything, but it sure is starting to seem that way. Oh yeah, here was that downtrend line too. You know, plenty of people looking at that. Right, you know, if you draw it with the extremities of the wicks, you get resistance. If you draw with the closes, the key closes, you can get resistance. You know, and that's why, remember, the key level on the monthly, the last swing high candle was 11,000. And we can also see, oops, getting above 11,000, which is right in here, would take us above, oh, there's my alarm, sorry about that. Getting above 11 would also take us above even the most extreme angular resistance that we have. It would also take us above the last swing high we made before dumping. So I would say 11 is like that clear, it's back the fuck on, baby. But, you know, to be honest, this was enough for me. Like, I'm very confident the Bulls are back with that one. But, you know, if you really need that long-term signal, back above 11, game fucking on. So that's Bitcoin. Like I said, if you have any questions, hit me up in the chat. We can talk about some alt trades here. So today I entered into basic attention token. Had pretty much the clearest Boss Crypto setup you can get, right? And I'll tell you what that is. You're in a downtrend, making lower highs and lower lows. With this candle, and subsequently this candle, you stop making lower lows. So 3 phases to bottoming process. You got to stop making lower lows, got to make a higher low, and you got to make a higher high. Well, stop making lower lows, make a higher low, make a higher high, and even more so, there's 2 key highs I care about. The lower high in the accumulation phase and the lower high that led to the accumulation phase. And we got closes above both of those. So that's looking really good for the long-term trend for basic attention token. Let me get rid of some of this here. And then in addition to that, while we're already making higher highs and higher lows, I want to be buying the dip. And so I was waiting for a bullish engulfing candle. I'm going to delete this for 1 second. Watching my key lower highs from the top of each candle, each bearish candle. And then right here, boom, we get our first higher high, or not higher high, but bullish engulfing, which was a higher high on like, 5 minute or some shit. And then I bought today at 26.70 on the breakout. I didn't buy the first engulfing just because of this little pivot lower high here. But the moment we broke out, I went heavy long into that. I think I got about 1% account risk. I like 2 or 3% account risk on this one, but I went double trade. I went on BAT and 0x, which, watch, check this out. 1, 2, 3. It's the same setup pretty much, right? You had your accumulation bottom. It's almost better because this is the lower high before that bottom. And BAT, if we look back at BAT basically stopped right above that high. 0x went the fuck on and is consolidating above even June levels, which is pretty crazy. So I like that strength. Is it going to last? I'm not sure, but this is the last chance for it to make it. If it doesn't hold 28, there's no telling how far down it could go. So that's good enough for me. And then the same as BAT, we watch our key swing highs. And boom, right there, you get the bullish engulfing, close back above the 8. I didn't add there, but that's a good chance to add like 1% risk, and then you get the pullback, you add the other percent. 2% account risk, boom. Stop a little low. But I just added the whole thing here today at like 3,000 something. I want to get my stuff back here. There. Wait, where's my... I must have deleted the long entry, but yeah, it was like... Yeah, it was like 3160, I think was my 0x entry. And you can see on the 4-hour here, technically we're still in like a trading range. The same as BAT. I waited until BAT did this to enter. So I'm kind of entering middle of the range on 0x, but it looks good. So I'm okay with that entry. So that's current entries. And then we've been looking at some Huobi coins. If you guys want to check those out in the chat. What else? Oh, yeah. One of the best trades that I made in the chat in months was CH freaking Z. Never would have imagined I'd grow up and make bank on Chiliz coin. And now it's topping out pretty much exactly where we expected to as well. So can do just a quick walkthrough of this one. So I'll start with the daily. We had a beautiful bullish engulfing set up here after a stop run below a key support pivot. So at this point, you break this support pivot, it's okay to be bearish, right? You've still got this BCI support over here, so maybe you retest that and move on. But nope, we get the engulfing back above this key level. So now we can be confident playing on the long side again, right? So as of that point, I'm okay being on the long side. It's still a little contrarian to our cycle, but you know, that's okay. We'll see what we got on the 4-hour. So zooming in, we can see the actual breakout trade that I took. And I'm gonna get rid of the bands for a second. Right here, we had, I thought at the time it was more of an ascending triangle, but it looks just kind of like a rectangular channel. I bought the breakout at 124 on this one. So it was contrarian to my daily cycle, but I had the 4-hour cycle in my favor, and I had the trend, which is my friend, in my favor as well. Higher lows, higher highs. And so, yeah, that was that. I bought full size there. I sold about half when we made the new high. Small gain, but like 15%. Then I sold another quarter at the 1.618 fib. And I used the top of the pump as the anchor and the bottom of the dump as the anchor. So I sold some more into like 160, 170. And then I sold my last 25%. Actually, no, I didn't sell it yet. I'm still trailing. I think my stop's below. Yeah, I think my stop is below 167 right now. So yeah, sold a nice chunk here, sold a nice chunk here. And now we're just chilling, waiting until my trailing stop gets hit. So either I'll get hit for 40% here on my last piece, or it'll make another higher low and go higher. I think Chiliz coin is pretty done for now, though. I mean, the daily cycle is looking extended, and we got 2 topping tails into the 1.618 fib. So let's point this out. I entered in this region, and I used this fib for my first target, my kind of intermediate term target, but a long-term target, which got hit, you know, the next day because crypto. The long-term 1.618 fib was 188 sats, and we have pretty much double topped, tweezer topped right into that. So I think that's a really good time to be getting the fuck out of this coin. Like I said, I'll leave my trailing stop how my model tells me to do it, but I'm okay just being 25% long on here now, but that was something else. Crazy coins right there. So yeah, if you guys want to see more amazing trades like this, or like basic attention token, Bitcoin, whatever kind of analysis you want, come join us in the Boss Crypto chat, guys, bosscrypto.co. It's free for 30 days. I hope to see you guys there. Have a great start to the week. Peace.